Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that somewhere out there, perhaps unimaginably close, another version of you also woke up. But in that reality, you became a famous rock star. Or an astronaut performing a very important mission on Mars. And the strangest part? Modern physics says this idea might not be completely insane. Welcome to one of the weirdest concepts humanity has ever invented. Parallel realities, alternate universes, infinite worlds, cosmic copies of existence itself. The kind of idea that sounds like it was invented by a sleep-deprived science fiction writer who drank 6 energy drinks and stared too long at a lava lamp. And yet, real physicists take it seriously, which is both fascinating and slightly alarming. Because once you start thinking about parallel realities, normal life becomes impossible to fully trust ever again. You stop looking at choices the same way. You stand in a grocery store staring at 2 cereal boxes, wondering if another version of you picked differently and accidentally became Emperor of Belgium. This is not how science was supposed to feel. Now, before we go further, we should admit something important. Humans love alternate realities. We've always loved them. Ancient myths were full of hidden worlds and invisible dimensions. Fairies lived in parallel realms. Spirits existed just beyond perception. Entire cultures believed reality had layers like some kind of cosmic onion, a terrifying onion. And then science arrived and basically said, good news, the onion might actually be real. Let's begin with the most important question. Why would scientists even think parallel universes could exist? Because the universe itself behaves like it's being operated by an exhausted magician who keeps changing the rules halfway through the trick. Quantum physics, the branch of science responsible for ruining everyone's sense of certainty, discovered something deeply suspicious about reality. Tiny particles don't behave like tiny billiard balls. They behave like probabilities, possibilities, weird little mathematical ghosts. Electrons can exist in multiple states at once. Particles can behave like waves. Matter can apparently look at causality and say, interesting suggestion, anyway. And then things got worse. Scientists discovered that merely observing certain quantum systems changes their behavior, which sounds less like physics and more like the universe becoming self-conscious. Imagine explaining this to someone in the Middle Ages. So, you're saying reality acts differently when watched?
Yes.
And things exist in multiple states until observed?
Yes.
And there may be infinite parallel universes?
Yes.
Obviously witches. Honestly, not the worst conclusion available at the time. One of the strangest interpretations of quantum mechanics is called the many worlds interpretation, which sounds like a fantasy novel written by a mathematician trapped inside an existential crisis. The idea is simple, terrifyingly simple. Every quantum possibility actually happens. Every single one. Reality splits constantly into parallel branches where different outcomes occur. You drink coffee in one universe. You spill it in another. In one reality, you became rich. In another, you accidentally sent love you to your boss, forever changing the trajectory of space-time. According to this idea, the universe is constantly branching into countless realities every second. Infinite Earths, infinite histories, infinite versions of you. Some heroic, some embarrassing, some probably eating mayonnaise directly from the jar
Okay.
at 2 a.m. while rethinking their entire existence. Science is beautiful. Now, naturally, this raises several deeply cursed questions. First of all, how many versions of you exist? Potentially infinite. There may be realities where dinosaurs never went extinct. Realities where humans evolved underwater. Realities where the Roman Empire invented Wi-Fi.
Why not?
Realities where pigeons became the dominant species and humans are fed breadcrumbs in parks. And honestly, pigeons already behave with the confidence of rulers. But here's where parallel worlds become truly mind-melting. If every possibility exists somewhere, then every decision matters in a completely different way. Imagine your life as a gigantic cosmic tree. Every choice creates branches, coffee or tea, move to another city or stay home, say hello or stay silent, watch educational science videos or spend 3 hours looking at raccoons stealing cat food. No judgment. The raccoons are charismatic, but every possibility creates new timelines. Some physicists argue these realities are completely separate and can never interact. Others think there may be tiny cracks between them. Little leaks in reality, which immediately sounds like something humanity should absolutely not investigate. And naturally, humanity immediately started investigating it. Because curiosity is our species' greatest strength, and also the reason we would absolutely press a glowing red button labeled "Do Not Press May Open Dimensional Portal." Now, let's talk about one of the weirdest stories ever written.
Okay.
Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Because Lewis Carroll accidentally created one of the greatest metaphors for parallel realities long before modern physics entered the conversation. Think about it. Alice enters another world through impossible transitions. Mirrors become portals. Logic becomes unstable. Time behaves strangely. Identity shifts constantly. Reality feels familiar, but fundamentally wrong. That is disturbingly close to how physicists describe certain theoretical dimensions. The Looking Glass world is essentially an alternate universe where ordinary rules are twisted sideways. And honestly, if quantum mechanics had a mascot, it would probably be the Cheshire Cat, appearing, disappearing, smiling like it knows the equations personally. Alice asks perfectly reasonable questions and receives answers that sound like they were generated by cosmic mushrooms. Which, to be fair, is also how many people feel after reading advanced theoretical physics papers. Some researchers genuinely speculate that extra dimensions may exist all around us right now, hidden beyond our perception, not far away, right here. Imagine ants crawling across a sheet of paper. The ants perceive only 2 dimensions. They move left, right, forward, backward. But humans can see above the paper too. Now imagine humanity is the ant. Suddenly, existence feels significantly less comforting. There could be higher dimensions surrounding us constantly, folded invisibly through reality like cosmic origami. And we'd never notice. Your entire life could be occurring inside a tiny slice of a much larger structure, which is both awe-inspiring and exactly the kind of information your brain refuses to process during grocery shopping. Would you like paper or plastic? Ma'am, I just realized reality may have 11 dimensions. Sir, this is a supermarket. Now here's another disturbing idea. What if dreams occasionally borrow fragments from parallel realities? Yes, this theory exists. No, scientists are not claiming your dream about fighting a giant flaming hamster in a shopping mall was definitely interdimensional travel. Probably. But some thinkers have wondered why dreams can feel so bizarrely real. Why certain places in dreams feel strangely familiar despite never existing in waking life. Maybe dreams are simply your brain being chaotic. Or maybe consciousness is stranger than anyone fully understands, which, scientifically speaking, is extremely true. Consciousness itself remains one of the greatest mysteries in existence. We can launch telescopes into space. We can split atoms. We can build machines that recognize cats. But fully explaining why awareness exists at all? Still deeply confusing. The universe casually allows black holes, quantum entanglement, exploding stars, and possibly infinite realities. But consciousness might be the weirdest thing of all. Because somehow matter woke up and started asking questions about itself. That's insane. A pile of atoms became self-aware and now argues online about pineapple pizza. Reality took a very strange turn somewhere. And if parallel realities exist, consciousness becomes even more mysterious. Could another version of you be thinking slightly different thoughts right now? Could infinite versions of this exact moment exist simultaneously? Maybe somewhere another version of you is watching this video while eating cereal with a tiny sword for absolutely no reason. And honestly, good for them. But there's an even stranger possibility. Some physicists suggest the entire universe itself may be one bubble among countless cosmic bubbles in an enormous multiverse. Picture boiling water. Each bubble is its own universe with different physical laws, different stars, different chemistry, different realities. Some universes might collapse instantly. Some might contain no matter at all. Others could have completely different versions of physics where gravity behaves like an emotionally unstable raccoon. Our universe may simply be one lucky bubble where conditions happened to allow galaxies, planets, life, and extremely dramatic reality TV. Which means existence itself may be far bigger than humans are psychologically prepared for. We evolved to survive predators and remember where berries were located. We were not designed to emotionally process infinite universes. That's why the brain reacts to these ideas like, interesting. Anyway, let's panic about that awkward thing you said in 2014. Evolution has priorities. Now, of course, there's a major problem with parallel universe theories: evidence. Scientists love evidence. Annoyingly so. You can't just burst into a physics conference screaming,
I saw another dimension inside a Taco Bell! Ah!
well, technically you can, but security may become involved. At the moment, we do not have direct proof of parallel worlds. Some theories mathematically allow them. Some models practically predict them. But physically detecting another universe, that's difficult. Mostly because universes are inconveniently large. Still, researchers continue searching for clues, strange patterns in cosmic radiation, tiny irregularities in space-time, mathematical structures suggesting reality may be far stranger than it appears. And honestly, History repeatedly shows that reality is under no obligation to behave sensibly. Humans once believed Earth was the center of everything. Then we discovered we orbit the Sun. Then we discovered the Sun is one star among billions. Then we discovered galaxies. Then black holes. Then quantum mechanics arrived like a raccoon kicking down the door screaming,
None of this works the way you thought!
Every time humanity feels confident about reality, the universe releases another expansion pack. And maybe parallel worlds are simply the next chapter. Or maybe they're wrong entirely. That's the beauty of science. Science is not a collection of final answers. Science is humanity continuously admitting, we were weirdly wrong again. And that honesty is powerful, because curiosity pushes civilization forward. Curiosity built telescopes. Curiosity built spacecraft. Curiosity made humans walk on the moon, even though most of human history involved people dying because they looked suspiciously at berries. That's progress, and perhaps the most beautiful thing about parallel realities is not whether they literally exist. It's what the idea does to the imagination. It reminds us that reality may always be larger than our current understanding, that mystery still exists, that existence still contains unopened doors. Because somewhere between science, philosophy, mathematics, and imagination, humans discovered something extraordinary: wonder. The ability to stand inside a vast, incomprehensible universe and still ask questions, still laugh, still dream, still tell stories about girls walking through mirrors into impossible worlds. And maybe that's the real secret. Knowledge expands the mind. Humor keeps it alive. New ideas remind us the universe is bigger than fear, routine, and endless notifications on glowing rectangles. The more we learn, the more reality transforms from something ordinary into something astonishingly strange. And maybe that's good, because curiosity and laughter together might be one of the best survival strategies humanity has ever invented.